Creatures of the night, let's talk New Japan G1 Climax Night 1. Look, I'm going to say this right now. It is going to be impossible for me to cover every episode. So I will just give updates, especially like during the week, because it's like it comes on 3 o'clock my time in the morning, and I work on the weekdays, and it's really tough to be able to keep up with that. So, I'm going to give updates, and the shows that I can actually review, especially on the weekends, those will be easier for me. So we had the first night, and I thought it was a really great night for a first night. There was some things that happened that obviously wasn't up to my liking. However, we're still just starting off with things on the first night. And it's anyone's game still at this point. Now, just to let you guys know that we do have 2 blocks, Block A, Block B, and we have 20 men in this tournament. Now, this is a round robin type of tournament, which means that you're going to face everyone within your block. And I'll put up a picture here so you can see who's on each block for those of you who don't know. Now, we do have 10 matches. And if you win, you get 2 points. If it was a draw, you get 1. And if you don't win, you get nothing. You get no points. So let's talk about the show. We started off with our first match for Block B. We had Yoshihashi going against Shingo Takagi in the shortest match in this whole thing. It was literally less than 5 minutes, and I could not even believe how quick it happened. Like, I didn't even get a chance to sit down with my snack. Like, it just was so quick. Shingo Takagi ends up taking the L, which honestly I wasn't expecting. Up to the next match was for Block A. Colin Newman going against Evil. This was disappointing to me in terms of, look, y'all know I love heels. I consider myself to be a heel myself. And I feel like it's way too cliche and outdated for heels to only be expected to, if they're part of a faction, for them to just have their mates in their factions to just constantly be out there and just helping them cheat. I really do feel like with House of Torture, there's like 50 million people in that group, and at any given time they're out there helping each other cheat. And typically I would be okay with this, but I just feel like this is something that is just too much in pro wrestling nowadays, where it's just like, is that all we are as heels? We're just going to keep cheating? I feel like there's something badass about being able to hold your own. Like, this was a huge thing that was an issue, like when it came to like the Death Riders, and how despite the Death Riders getting involved, I want to say in every single one of Moxley's matches, he was absolutely 100% capable of doing things on his own. So here we have the leader, Evil, who is just still going with that. And I'm just like, please don't be a reoccurring theme with this whole damn tournament, because if that's the case, that's definitely going to put things off for me and maybe for other people as well. So obviously with all the help that Evil was getting, he was able to take the win here and get 2 points. For me, I was just like, well, Colin, he is in fucking United Empire. Like, where your people at? And nobody came to help him, which was disappointing for me. After this, we do have Block B. We have the Great Okan going against Jilla Maloney. Jilla Maloney, Lord have mercy, Jesus Christ. Every single time I see this man, I am just like fucking in awe. Like, his body is right. I don't know what it is, but he looked even fucking darker than me. And I like what I see in the ring. He's really talented. I wasn't sure where it was going to go, but this one turned out to be one of my favorite matches of the night. Drilla ends up taking the win, which I am okay with. Another one that I really, really enjoyed, probably maybe my favorite match of the night, was Yuya Yamura going against Oleg Boltin. And this was for Block A. And I want to say this, for anybody who's watching this for the first time, or even if it's not the first time, if someone has a championship, kind of put that in the back of your mind and don't let that determine if that person should win or not. This is also an issue for me too, because I feel like in terms of if someone has a championship and being part of a tournament like this, you cannot protect them the whole way. There's no way you're going to say, well, so-and-so has a title, so we're going to make sure that they win this every match in the tournament. You can't actually do that right off the bat. There's just no way. But there is a way that things can be done where the champion can lose, but you can protect them with how they lose. For me, Oleg Boltin was who I wanted to win. I really like him. He's the one who just took the title off of Takeshita a few weeks ago. And honestly, after they had a trilogy, I was really impressed with him. And I was okay with him taking the title off Takeshita. However, Oleg Boltin ends up losing, which I was fucking gagged about it. I was just like, it was one of those times where it's just like, I kind of got up from the bed and I was like, oh, that's what we're doing? I was not expecting that. Yuya ends up taking the win. This is one of my favorite matches as well. So for 2 points. Another really great match that we had on here, for like the millionth time, obviously, we had for Block B, Shota Umino going against El Phantasmo. El Phantasmo is so freaking, he's so stupid, whatever. He goes to Shota Umino and he puts his hand next to Shota's crotch and he's trying to show everyone how small his dick is by putting like putting his fingers like this and showing it. And then Shota just looks so fucking annoyed. And I was like, well, Shota, if that's not true, show somebody and let them know that it's not true. I volunteer, whatever. This match was okay. You know, I really like both of these guys. I see neither of them end up taking the win for this tournament. But hey, you know, we got slots to fill on the damn tournament, so why not? Surprise, surprise, Shota Umino ends up taking the win. Shota, I mean, I see he's been at the gym. He's growing his hair back and it's like blondish-ish, pinkish, kind of, something like that. Something still about him where it's just like, I like you, but give me a reason to keep liking you type of thing. So we're still waiting for all of that. David Finlay over in Block A going against Ryohei Oiwa. David, something about David. I like David. Do I like David? I like David. But him being the leader of the Bullet Club, I need more. I need to see more. I don't know what you gotta do. If y'all gotta kill people, something. I need to see more. I need to see more with him as the leader. You know, I don't want to make it like a whole rant about the Bullet Club thing or whatever. But like I said, I just need more. Ryohei, you know, if he didn't win, he was going to get his ass whooped by the Mighty Don't Kneel anyway. So he had to take the win. He ends up taking the win, which did surprise me. For him to pick up his 2 points. David Finlay, we're praying. Block B, finally. This is the one I was waiting on. I was like, y'all might as well make this a whole fucking main event. I think this is the first time ever. I've never seen it, never heard of them going against each other, but Gabe Kidd to go against Takeshita. Takeshita is my pick for to win the whole tournament. He's who I want to win. However, I do feel like Gabe probably will end up at least making more points than Takeshita. I can see Gabe actually making it to the finals for Block B. I don't know what's going to happen, but we'll see. So when I tell you they delivered, they delivered. And they left that door open for, you know, we're going to see you two guys go at it again in the ring. I really like their chemistry a lot. Both of these guys are really hungry to be able to obviously win the tournament. Both these guys really young. My thing here is when I think of the tournament, I think of how Gabe, especially ever since that match that he had with Kenny. I know a lot of people are impressed with him. A lot of people are having their eyes on him, and he can potentially be that foreign wrestler that not AEW, New Japan has to be on top of the company. I can totally see that being the case. However, Takeshita also he's not a foreign wrestler, but he is representing AEW as well. So he has all those eyes from AEW who are constantly watching him. And that's a good thing, because then that could translate to those people who are watching him on the AEW to be like, oh, he's on New Japan. Let me see what's going on over there. He would be a really great winner. We'll see what ends up happening when we get to that point. Takeshita actually takes the win, which Gabe is just fucking like shocked. Gabe is like, what the fuck? Did you just beat me? He looked really shocked about it. And this is crazy because Takeshita takes the win with a choke. So he wins via submission, which I can't tell you the last time I've seen Takeshita use a submission to win. Typically is a Raising Fire or the Blue Thunder Bomb. So I was pretty surprised and just thought that Gabe was just going to end up maneuvering out of that choke, but he actually ended up passing out, and the referee went for the bell. When Gabe realized that his ass fucking passed out, then he was like, what? And they start scrapping, and obviously the young lions and everybody's getting in there to keep them away from each other. So we know we're going to see these guys again at some point. Obviously not during this tournament, but I can't wait to see what we'll get between these two guys. Really, really great matchup. Definitely one of the best of the night. After this, we do have for Block A, Sonata, who is looking like he's going through some kind of midlife crisis with this new look. He has like blonde and pink hair, and it's like patches, and not in a good way when I see patches. Whatever Sonata is going through with the fashions and all that, it's not working for me. He goes against Yota Tsuji, who is drop dead gorgeous. He is gorgeous. Oh my god, I don't know. Tsuji ends up taking the win here. Sonata, I don't know what we're doing. I don't know what we're doing. I still like him. I think he's really great and entertaining, but like with the new look and the fashions and everything, I feel like he's trying new things and just trying to see what just sticks and work. Honestly, I just don't care for it. For Block B, and the most disappointing one for me, and maybe favoritism might play into this a little bit, Zack Sabre Jr. going against Ren Narita. The first thing I thought was, okay, let me just wait for House of Torture to pop on in and just get involved or something. So the whole time I'm just kind of anticipating, interference or whatever. And actually, surprisingly, that doesn't happen. Zack Sabre Jr. is holding the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship. And like I said earlier, I think it's safe to say just don't think about titles. Like, none of that shit actually really matters in terms of if you should win or if you're going to win or lose or not. So for me, I'm looking at it as in, why would Zack lose? Ren Narita has actually beaten Zack once before. So I didn't see it actually happening again. I thought that, okay, well, maybe Zack might just win it this time, and maybe they'll end up having a third match at some point in the future. And somehow, some way, Ren Narita ends up taking the win. I don't remember the name of this move. So what he ended up doing was, the referee didn't look for like half a second. He ends up kicking Zack in the nuts, and then he's at the top rope, and he does something so that his knee can hit Zack's neck. Whatever it's called. I don't know what the move's called. Whatever. And then he ends up pinning Zack 1, 2, 3 for the win. I was like, oh, that's all it takes to win? Something about it just didn't give finisher vibes to me. And it just felt like if he was, I would have preferred that if he was going to win, that it would have been with a strong finisher. It just didn't look like something that Zack would just lay down for. I don't know. It just didn't seem enough to me, but whatever. I think a lot of people were probably surprised about this. So Ren Narita ends up taking the win. For these 9 matches, I want to say it was like less than 2.5 hours. On average, most of the matches were like about 10 minutes, up to 15 the most. And then here comes Taichi going against President Tanahashi. Obviously, at the time, I didn't realize that, and I'm not gonna lie, at this point is when I fell asleep. I didn't get a chance to see them walk out at this point, so I had to watch it back when I woke up in the morning. But it was actually interesting because, Tanahashi's in this, and I don't think anybody should, I don't want to say no one should anticipate him actually winning the G1. I personally don't necessarily see why he should win the G1 this year, but I think that there will be some people to be like, hey, if this is his last year wrestling, he should go off with a bang and get as much opportunities and whatever he hasn't been able to accomplish in his career, or give him opportunities to have more opportunities to win titles or to win tournaments and things like that. I don't think that should be the case just because you're retiring. I'm sorry. I just don't feel like that should be the case. But for the Block A, Tanahashi ends up taking the win, which I think I'm okay with. This is just the first night. We still have night 2 coming on in a few hours. And like I said, it's anybody's game still at this point. So I forgot the last day of the actual tournament, but this is going to go on for about 4 weeks. So it can go either way. At this point, still for me, Takeshita is who I'm hoping to end up taking the win. Gabe Kidd is another really close one for me, that if Takeshita couldn't win, I'll take Gabe as well. I think he would be great for a win. Honestly, I haven't really been looking at anyone else for the win. Maybe I'm just going to see the next few nights and see how people perform before I take a look. Because I know really I'm kind of have my hopes up for someone from Block B and not necessarily anyone from Block A. It could be interesting to see Evil win, because if Evil wins, that would be interesting for him to not just win the G1, but this would definitely give somewhat of power. Well, I don't want to say power, but this will definitely give the bragging rights to House of Torture. If they're trying to take that whole faction to another level, this could still be a good thing for them if he were to win. I like Evil, I do, but I don't know if I care to see him actually take the win. So for me right now, fingers crossed, we're praying for Takeshita. And if not Takeshita, Gabe Kidd is okay with me. You guys, thanks so much for watching my review. I will do a review on night 2. And for all the other nights that I can't do the reviews, because like I said, fucking work, unfortunately, there's something called work and they want you to clock in instead of watching wrestling. I'll still give updates on those shows as well to keep everyone updated in terms of where we are with the G1. We are still quite a ways away from the whole thing being over. So fingers crossed, and hopefully no injuries to any of these guys in this tournament. I want everyone, the way y'all walked into this tournament is how I want everyone to leave. Hopefully injury free. You guys, thanks so much for watching my review. I'll be back with night 2 tomorrow.